super hard actually, because neither of the drafts feel like they have a clear edge over the other. I think both did very well in the draft phase here. This game is going to be decided by gameplay. Just looking at it, I think I like what Thunder Awaken are doing. Even though I haven't seen an offlane Snapfire throughout all the group stage here. All the games I've been watching, I haven't seen it. So will be a lot of fun to see how they're going to execute this. But I like what they have in their hands here.
And TSM still not really opting to go for that smoke play out of the base. Just gonna wander over slowly. Do you see that Thunder did go for the traditional smoke out, try to play some wards. They do have them down.
Yeah. And I think since Thunder did smoke, they didn't reveal that they put that Observer ward a little bit later there. Their Observer ward on top was placed a few seconds after, but I think he was still in smoke fully when he walked out of the vision. So, shouldn't be dewarded.
I do like that they've been opting. I've been seeing this more and more recently with the wards over on the eye spots instead of, you know, sometimes over on some of the cliffs, or not cliffs, but like the stairways and whatnot.
Yeah, but that ward was scouted out on mid. The little bit of aggro check there.
The battle begins.
Get a little bit of a hook here over onto Moon Meander.
She's gonna steal your rune though, maybe, but not even going for it.
No.
Okay.
Just want to get out. All right, so it's a even split, 2 and 2.
Stay safe. I mean, if we went for a rune, he could have gone it, but he might have had to skill leap to get out, and you really don't want to skill leap as a Mirana, because then you're just useless in lane. So he keeps a skill point, gonna be able to have the Starfall or the arrow, whichever he sees an opportunity for here.
Do have nice harass here in the bottom lane. Panda going to be able to just... Yep. It's that range creep. Continuously put out the Thunder Strike and try to put pressure down in that manner. It should be nice. We'll force them to be very careful and make sure that they're going to have to always have the regen.
Yeah, that's true. Last hit battle mid will be an uphill struggle for Bryle, as the Tiny is quite strong. Top lane, though, is a good start over here for TSM. The Nyx is not necessarily the strongest laner, so Tomato will be a little bit difficult to fight into.
I feel like this is a good combo, though. If you're going to have something with the Nyx Assassin, if you can pair it up with something ranged and something that can also follow up on his Impale, it could be potentially good. It is going to take some levels, but...
Yeah,
like
we saw Nyx used earlier by I can't remember who it was, but they ran the safe lane sniper Nyx combo, and that was also a very nice way to utilize Nyx laning stage. But he is a hero that can struggle a little bit, but Snapfire enables him in a fair way. Also have the cookie here to possibly save.
There's the Impale. It's going to take a little bit of damage, but just the harass back and forth. Little cheeky play with the Spike Carapace. Knows that Tomato's going to want to raise and is able to slow him down a bit.
Yeah, good job by Dubu so far on this lane though. He's just harassing as much as he can on Clockwork, trying to set up a chance here to get a kill, but with the Snapfire cookie ready, he can't really lock someone in place. He knows the Nyx can always escape by Snap saving him.
Unless they make a very aggressive play like this. Oh, it's a decent amount of damage over onto Tomato. We'll go to pop that stick. It's a little bit more. Matthew trying to close the gap. Sacred trying not to be the first blood, as now they'll turn their attention over to Matthew. But it looks like that's enough. They don't want to risk it any further on either side.
Yeah, everybody going really low there, but Thunder in the end are going to be the ones who stay and last hits on top of the creep wave as Tomato gets a tree planted for him. Gotta eat that up and try to regen a bit. Just looking for a hook. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it feels like they're doing a decent job harassing back and forth a bit. Pretty close in terms of the net worth. Top lane, power cogs get used by Dubu. Just going to push them away. I was going to remark though on this mid lane. I feel like this is a lane I've seen like, I don't know how many times. Looks back. Oh, into the hook. You have the crush. So Saberlight's gonna be fine. But that's a pretty nice combination if you can get that clear line of sight.
Yeah, they glimpse and the hook, good combo. They also didn't have the kinetic field there. If they were just a few experience points higher there, possibly they could have gotten a kill. Nice dodge by Timado on top lane. Dodges the Snapfire Cookie. Still in trouble though.
Yeah, I don't know if they have quite enough damage though to take down Timado this time. They would need maybe a scatter blast to go on top of this. It's a constant brawl on top lane.
Yeah, it's a lot of fighting. Right now we see Meander just enjoying bottom lane a bit. But they did turn around.
They finally get the kill. Timado had been sitting low for a bit. And,
yeah, he raced into the Spite Carapace with his third race. That did a lot of damage to him. So he was just a little bit too low there.
Bottom lane, Saberlight setting up here for the arrow, but they're a little bit off the mark. Panda turning to the other side. Like for a little bit of a dive here into the tree line, but Panda is able to escape. And take some of the attention of the creeps and pull them away. Top lane, Cookie hop forward from Sacred. Man, they are just making this look great. Need a little bit more damage. Have to be careful with these raises. And they get the kill on Sacred, but Matthew will finish off Timado.
Yeah, even though they're gonna lose 2 heroes, that's fine for them because SF doesn't have TP. So both of them died, sure, but they can both TP back to the lane immediately, whereas the SF, he has to run back to the lane. He does have boots, so it's not terrible, but it's never a good feel to have to do the walk of shame.
Dark Mago going up into the enemy jungle will be able to refill his bottle with the bounty rune. So I'd be pretty happy about that. And Mirana making her way over towards the mid lane. I believe she's spotted though by Panda as they go through. Yeah, they just get a quick D-ward. Get some easy gold. And Moon will just back off.
An easy shot.
Yeah.
He's using her ability there to clear the jungle. Yeah, he smoked up to run back to the lane by the way on Shadow Fiend, so that's pretty common.
This is kind of scary, I feel like. He has no one to protect him now.
Yeah, and now, yeah, Clockwork, well, Clockwork can come back very soon. This lane is starting to feel more and more like Thunder are taking advantage of how strong their heroes are pairing up. These nukes are really putting a lot of hurt into TSM.
Still pretty quiet down here in this bottom lane. Do you see, you know, some poking and prodding, but nothing really overly aggressive. Not sure. I feel like when you have something like the Slardar and the Mirana, you can set up for some really nice moves. But I like the way that Pakaz is playing this. He's like trying to stick around over here on the side so Moon Meander can't get that nice arrow. Teleports are coming down though. Bryle starts with the Rolling Thunder, making his way over to Pakaz. Glimpse back on Saberlight, but they still have these rolls going through. The arrow connects from Moon Meander. Bryle will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, good rotation, good use of first roll there. Dubu. Just running in with his battery.
They have the cookie hop forward into the cogs. And the Spike Carapace will be able to slow him with that battery going off. There it is, the impale, the scatter. 1, 2, down goes Dubu.
Yeah, it's rough. Dubu wants to try and do some damage to battery assault, but if he gets too close, I mean, they have so much chase and lockdown between the Snapfire Cookie, the impale, and of course the Cicada Blast doing so much damage as well. He just can't be that aggressive here. Tiny coming up top.
Dive. Top lane, they see where Timado is, plus Dark Mago. He says, you guys have been doing a lot of damage on Timado. I'd love to get a kill too.
Oh, they're in good position to take the tower maybe with Tiny staying here. If they want to. Oh, he's gonna go back to mid.
His work here is done. He does get poked by Bryle, and Dubu's also in the mid lane, so he's gonna try to have a little bit of harass, but they have the avalanche. He's gonna see some teleports coming in. Bryle jumping in as well. But this looks like a very dead Dubu, and this could be potentially a dead Pangolier too. As Matthew keeping tabs. Panda Moo needs the vision.
Only level 1 glimpse. It's not long enough range.
A little bit closer. No, he's not going to be able to make it.
Middle tower is under attack.
Nice try there, coming in with Disruptor as well.
Ooh, a good avalanche from Dark Mago, but they'll still be able to deny the Arcane Rune. Now they'll use the Rolling Thunders. Top lane, Timado dies again. Dark Mago, nice save here from Matthew, but Swashbuckle from Bryle will clean up.
You were never going to be fast enough for me.
Man, this game is turning out real brawly early on here. Crazy play from both teams. The way they're diving under towers. I mean, bottom lane.
Saberlight in the bottom lane, the first dismember, but does manage to stay alive, get the crush off and the little bash towards the end.
Yeah, he's happy to just use his ulti whenever he gets a chance to here on Pudge. This is just a nice way to get some damage done and a little bit of healing for himself at the same time, so good value.
He's like trying to remember what the fancier name was, because it was always just Crush, right? It wasn't Slytherin Crush? Or am I misremembering?
Yeah, it was Crush, yeah.
They fancified up his spells at one point. They used to just be amp damage, crush, sprint,
yeah, and bash.
Now it's all fancy. Oh, hello, Tomato. You were having too much fun here, and the jungle. We can't have that. Another kill for Dark Mago. Tomato's not having a game at all. How are they supposed to respond to this? How do they protect him?
5 deaths now. Yeah, Shadow Fiend is falling behind heavily here in laning stage. He is the lowest farmed core right now, and he's only 600 gold ahead of his Mirana, who is not even having that great of a game. Moon Meander, I mean, he hasn't died, but he also has no kills to his name, so him almost being higher net worth than SF, really bad sign for TSM.
I feel like Moon usually gets a bunch of courier snipes too, at least, but this game has not been going the way of TSM.
Yeah,
They do some good setup.
They're opening up for a tower, though. They want to try and expand their control on the map, and I think they need it. They need some form of area where Tomato can farm without being like hunted the way that Thunder Awaken really targeted him.
Alright, watch the supports on the side of TSM. They're in position to break the smokes. Matthew leading the charge. He's gonna find Dubu. Middle of that avalanche. The hook out. Those cogs mean nothing to him. Moonlight Shadow's gonna get used, and they do have the amp damage over on Dark Mago, the Starstorm. But the Snapfire just raining Hellfire down over onto Saberlight. This is looking like they're gonna end up losing him as well.
Fantastic fighting. I mean, Thunder Awaken just stronger right now. They TP out after the fight on TSM, splitting up on the map, but every single engagement just feels like Thunder are coming out ahead. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sacred, by the way. He's been involved in 8 of these kills. He's 3-1 and 5 at 10 kills for the team. He's playing a great offlane Snapfire this game so far.
This is actually very fun to watch, because I've watched a lot of these guys for a long time. Bottom lane, though, Saberlight runs into Pakaz. Has the bash and follow. The arrow's just a little bit off the mark from Moon, and he can't do anything about this when the dismember goes through. Another bash on Pakaz. Does probably need some assistance. He's pretty tanky, but
Snap is coming.
Still
the
feel
cookie.
yeah, she is indeed. With Scatter Blast, Cookie says, "Get out of there, big boy." Leap forward, though, from Moon Meander. They really want to close the gap. They do have the arrow. Dark Mago, though, getting a kill on Dubu. It looks like they might... Oh, just a little bit off with that hook. He was trying to save him, but not going to be able to.
Yeah, unfortunate there. A lot of these engagements for TSM, the arrow is just barely missing, like falling a little bit short. And it's hard to combo it with Slardar. While Mirana and Slardar are a pretty good combo, Slardar doesn't have the longest duration disable. I mean, his stun is only 1 second on the Slithering Crush. It's only 1.3 seconds on the Bash. So even if you do combine both of them, that's 2.3 seconds for a long distance arrow. That's not a great amount of time still.
Well, they do spot that Dark Mago ran up the side ramp here and is making his way top. And it looks like they're finally wanting to put the pressure on top lane and perhaps take it down after losing their own bottom tier 1.
Yeah, they need to start expanding their own territory. One thing that is going well for TSM right now is that SF has not been seen by anyone on Thunder Awaken for quite a while. He's just disappeared into the jungle, and he's starting to hit his farm. He's got that level 4 Necromastery, so up to 80 bonus damage.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Looks like they also want to put some pressure on the mid tower. Panda's going to be over there first, followed up with Matthew. Tower looks like it's going to go down. Hook shot comes in with the arrow, but the Static Storm landing over onto 2. Brawl doesn't care too much, but in comes Dark Mago. He is going to get bounced off thanks to that Rolling Thunder. A follow-up now with Moonlight Shadow. Panda, he needs some help. Ryle jumping in. A nice hook on the back lines over onto Dubu. Panda will end up falling. Snapfire Kisses get used. They need to just be able to get this vision and close the gap. And Mago walking right into Saberlight. The arrow coming in this time, it lands from Moon Meander. And they will finally be able to get a couple nice kills that they pretty desperately needed after D'Amato having such a rough time earlier.
Yeah, that was a good recovery for TSM there. Managing to turn around the Moonlight Shadow was nice as well for sneaking in and getting close. And they have the Diffusal on Pango, so his Swashbuckle is starting to get really strong. Nice stat clearing here for Sacred. He's getting his farm going. Building towards the Vladimir's next.
Do have some nice sentries placed on the ground, so they will be able to see Matthew sneaking his way towards the bottom area.
Yeah,
Meander playing nearby. They're pinging out. They would like to get the Slardar, but looks like they're gonna back off on the side of Thunder.
Yeah, not quite gonna be able to get it. Panda should be getting a D ward here. So that deep vision TSM had that protected him against the rotation gets removed.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They do start putting pressure on the mid tower and trying to open this up a little bit more. Because they've had plenty of kills on the board, but they need some of these towers too. Saberlight, hook shot goes in over on the back end. They see Matthew. Spike Carapace though does buy them a little bit more time. Cookie hop out from Sacred. The toss back from Mago, it's just not going to be enough as they land this avalanche. Go with the glimpse back. They say, get out of here, Saberlight. We don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, nice attempt at saving there, but still gonna get brought down. Pretty good at killing off one target quickly there on TSM, whereas the team fights, I think overall Thunder Awaken have the better team fight spells, but TSM's like single target lockdown when they hook in on someone or Slardar gets on top of someone and arrow falls up is pretty devastating, so Nyx gets caught out there. Tower does still stand.
Double damage on Bryle. Still looking to make these moves in the mid lane though, so cut down the Cardi.
Yeah, Thunder Awaken are recognizing that they're a little bit stronger overall, so they should just reset and go again. The Pango ulti was used, so there's a good time for them to try and get more. Towers removed, and now the map is pretty open for both teams here.
I'd like to see +1 playing with Matthew a little bit more.
Oh, Sacred is in
lane
trouble.
though, Bryle. Gonna use the Rolling Thunder? No.
That glimpse! That was very nice. He glimpses him and stops the Rolling Thunder channeling, so he can't stop the TP. Well, a cute
Very
little
cool.
play there by Disruptor.
Closer and closer towards that Aghanim Scepter for Kaz. He's got 2 of the components and honestly could go for, yeah, I was about to say, he could pick up the last 2 and be online. So I would like to see Thunder get a little bit more aggressive now that they have this. The Blink, of course, is going to be really nice, but I think
TSM want to dive this, then Pango ulti.
Yeah, they have the hook shot over onto Kaz, followed up with the arrow. Sacred with the cookie, gotta make sure that they can keep him alive. The follow-up. Now, Dubu not realizing, I think, that there were that many people still waiting nearby. So they'll turn that gank right back around over on TSM.
Yeah, TSM, the moment they saw that there were multiple people after hook shot, they just decided not to go. The Pango was revving up his ulti and then decided, no, I'm not gonna go in here. This is not a favorable fight. We were only 3 heroes and they don't want to fight into 5. So only losing Clockwork, not the worst for them. At the same time though, Thunder Awaken get a little bit of a freebie there. And they're gonna start moving towards bottom. I think for them, it's important that they don't forget about Shadow Fiend. You shot him down pretty good in the early game and he is behind. But Thunder Awaken, they have such a big advantage by how weak SF is. They should keep playing aggressively around this.
Saberlight trying to get in a good position, but he does wander across the ward. Matthew waiting patiently, knows he needs a +1. We'll just give a little poke and then walk away.
Yeah, that's the sad part about Dawnbreaker being removed, and I'm a little bit surprised they didn't even just open up with the Dawnbreaker and Nyx as their first 2 picks in this, going for the Tiny instead. Because Nyx and Dawnbreaker, we've seen the combination. Anytime that Nyx finds something like that, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. Dawnbreaker ultis in, and then you have the longest chain stun combination.
This always seems to be able to blow people up as well, especially in the early game. You get that momentum, you start to snowball out of control, and just what can you do? Alright, well, we have the Wraith pack completed now for Sacred. And he'll be working towards that Aghanims. Bottom lane, though, Because has spotted here. Saberlight gets the hook off. We'll be able to interrupt him as he's trying to swim away. He's going to have the Guardian sprint up in just a moment. He's going to have to try to break some ankles. So they have the detection. They have a sentry ward. So it looks like Saberlight's going to be able to get out while the rest of the team wanders to the bottom area. But I still feel like they're happy about this because there is an objective to be taken.
Yeah, but they lost the top tower meanwhile, so a good read by Saberlight there, finding that pocket to hide and just TPing out safely. If he ran up, he would definitely have gotten glimpsed. There was no way to get out from that angle, so finds a good place to tuck himself away from vision and gets out. Meanwhile, though, of course, like you said, this bottom tower is gonna fall, so it's not for nothing that Thunder Awaken moved down here. And I would like to see them even try to move in and get some control on TSM's Ancients. Oh, but right now, Roche, it's a fast one.
Yeah, that's just so much like negative armor going up. They're not going to be able to get there in time. Look at that.
It's quick.
And Brile will get themselves the Aegis. Do a scan. They know that Matthew's on his way. Scooting around underneath that one ward, but they also have the rest of the team smoked up. They're just a little too slow. And I honestly don't know if they were too slow or if TSM's just too fast in the way that they could have taken that Roche.
They're not really too slow, it's just TSM recognized that, okay, you chase 5 heroes down to try and get Saberlight. The fact that he baited them to come down there, they just used the most of it.
Matthew playing around here, does manage to sidestep on the hook shot. A good hit here from Saber. The Rolling Thunder's just locking them into place. They can't really do much of anything. They'll end up getting the kill on Matthew. They'll try to finish off too, but they'll be able to find it. Now we've got the Snapfire Kisses hook. Not going to connect over onto Moon Meander. But they will push back. About possibly going back in from TSM. They do have the Aegis.
I think that fight could have gone much better even for TSM if they only had more mana on Pangolier. He ran out of mana mid through the fight, so had the Aegis of course, but he couldn't go in with Swashbuckle to keep fighting.
Closer and closer to some of these BKBs. Looks like Tiny. Oh, might be it. And there we can see that, you know, Matthew was hoping he could get a cheeky play there, sidestepping around and whatnot, but...
Yeah, look here. So he finishes off Nyx Assassin, and now he's running towards the fight. And he could theoretically jump in there if he had enough mana for his Q and W. He could keep fighting since he had Aegis on Brile, but... I mean, Pango does get some mana issues, and he already did use his ulti and shield crash throughout that fight.
Boy, we have not seen Tomato in a while. He's been able to pretty much just hide away. They haven't been able to scout him as hard as they want, although they do jump on Brile. Again, this is the guy who's got the Aegis. Toss back. Throw forward here. Matthew managing to force staff himself away, plus a cookie coming in from Sacred. Will ensure that he's able to escape.
Yeah, they have good mobility to try and get out of that spot
the
here.
initiation from Maga. Again, the toss back has to be careful as Matthew just ends up getting obliterated. Already dropping the Wraith pack. The chase is on from Saberlight. They'll get the glimpse off. Will be forced away.
He missed to stun the toss back combo. It didn't work. Like the Nyx was trying for a cute stun immediately from the toss there of Tiny, but he stunned the wrong way and it didn't connect.
No, Pakaz on the bottom lane. He's gonna get scouted. There's the Diffusal coming in with the Rolling Thunder. You can see all the TPs are coming out immediately, though. A couple of these bashes from Saberlight will be able to hold Dubu, win the status from the grab Brile back. And that's going to be the Aegis. Moon Meander also now stuck over here at the side. Snapfire Kisses coming in hot, but they have the BKB on Tomato. So Mago, he ends up getting bashed. He's not going to be able to get out as Matthew forcing himself up to the high ground. Because does manage to finish off Saberlight. There's going to be the follow-up. Sacred goes for the cookie hop. Tomato, he's messed up. He's going to end up dying. And now Matthew trailing after Brile. He's got the Impale. They have the vision. This is looking very scary now for Brile. gonna get slowed. He's gonna try to fight his way out, but he's not gonna be able to. It's a triple kill now for Pakaza's Pudge.
Oh, that is absolute disaster. Every single hero going down. I think 4 of them, or maybe even all 5, died close to the Pudge as well. So he got a ton of flesh heap stacks, can get even tankier. And you could already see how durable he is. He found, of course, one of the good item drops as well. Got the dragon scale. There we see the initiation again. They tried to burst him, but with flesh heap up as well, he managed to pop it between there. They didn't get a clean chain stun. He is very hard to bring down.
Oh, that toss back of Moon into the static storm. Very unfortunate for him, and a nice play coming out from Mago. Was end up paying for it, but that fight looking very good for the side of Thunder.
It's also very hard to disengage from Thunder Awaken when they keep chasing and they have vision. They can get the glimpse back, they have the hook, they have Snapfire to cookie chase people. They have a lot of tools to make sure that nobody escapes on the side of TSM.
Radiant are scanning.
Look on Moon's face, it's like, whew, well, that was a fight. Sorry, Moon, shake it off, shake it off.
The prize is mine.
Not really the fight they wanted. Looks like Thunder now with a DD Arcane Rune Tiny are super ready to fight. He has the BKB as well.
Positioning from Pakaz, there it is, the toss back. BKB immediately gets used from Saberlight. Pakaz though with that dismemberment, grabbing hold of Saberlight. So he's gonna be able to survive. This hook doesn't quite connect. We start to see Bryle with the Rolling Thunder because over on the back lines, Panda was just throwing down that static storm. Wasn't gonna be able to quite get enough, but there it is. There's finally the final hit over onto Saberlight thanks to those Snapfire kisses.
Overall, very good by TSM. They only lose 1 hero. They did use their BKBs though, and BKB still ready on Tiny. He wants to go for more. It's a 3v4 if they want to dive here, but they force out the glyph. I think that's going to be it. They're going to back out.
They see that Bryle's down here in the bottom lane. He needs to be a bit careful. He doesn't have a blink. He's already used Swashbuckle.
Pudge does though.
Pakaz does have the blink, does have dismemberment. And he does have Sacred coming over here very soon as you're going to try to evade. He's not going to be able to do it because there's just too many heroes. The flavoring around the rosy for the tree a little bit, but the shotgun doesn't lie. Finds his face and blows it off.
Yeah, that's massive. Dark Mago on this Tiny. Going in. Wants the clockwork, not the Starter.
Start a casual avalanche. Tries to clean up the creep wave. The rest of the team, though, right behind him, ready to go in if he decides that he wants to go for this initiation.
Yeah, he has cooldown right now, so it's going to be hard for him to chase for more. Nyx is going in, but he has been spotted. There's a sentry and a ward. Saberlight sees him.
Oh, yes, he does. Hook shot gets used on Matthew. Does have the force staff, though. A nice avalanche coming up from Mago. Will slow down Dubu. Arrow landing over onto Sacred. Matthew trying to get out. Another force staff who's still managing to keep him alive. The badge comes in, though, and now he looks like he's going to survive. This little Nyx assassin diving through the trees ends up getting the kill here with Saberlight. Matthew does eventually fall, but there's the toss back of Moon Meander. He cannot escape because he's got the BKB running. That will end up losing Sacred. It's a bit of a dive as Brawl does clean up on Panda.
Certainly a bit of a dive. Thunder Awaken. This is that psychopath level aggression just going in. The tower doesn't really matter that much to these boys. They're just going for more.
Oh my god, yeah, they just dive in. They see themselves tomato. They know that they can burst him down. Even tossing out the tips.
You just have to expect that they're still there. These guys are so oriented around getting kills that TSM, they think they're safe under a tier 2 tower there after such a big skirmish, but no. With both Tiny and Pudge alive, they're still looking for more kills. They both have blinks, and they make this poor Shadow Fiend's life a living hell. Only 1 kill to his name and 7 deaths now.
I feel like this is the kind of Dota that really suits Pakaz. Like, very, very aggressive. Can still farm up, but like, you get the chance to be on the board a little bit earlier, especially with something like the Pudge, if your team is the sort of, you know, composition that's going to allow this. And we can see here that it's not even a bait, you know, it's just Matthew walking underneath all these wards. They try to make the play. It takes forever for them to, like, try to close the gap on him. I think Moon Meander finally cleans him off, but the positioning of the Static Storm, just being right place, right time. Yeah, it is Moon who finishes. Man.
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy fight going down, and huge favor for Thunder Awaken. You say this is the type of Dota that favors Pakaz, but this is the type of Dota that favors like South American Dota in general. All of these guys are very comfortable with this.
It's gonna be a dead Moon Meander. It's absolutely godlike.
Solo
10, 1,
kill.
and 6 on this big boy.
Brawl is rolling.
Yeah. There's haste trying to snap up. He'll get his courier though with the point booster. Look at Mago. Mago wants this guy. Blinks forward. Even uses the whip. The avalanche. BKB is going to get used by Bryle. Saberlight going to provide that backup. Matthew sitting on the bottom here. Nope.
Oh, he can't reach him.
Cannot quite get in there as there's the follow-up from Dubu. The pushback onto Sacred. Has the cookie hop. Ends up getting pushed back though again by these cogs. So a nice hit from TSM.
That's a good time to win a team fight. They check Roche as well as it could be spawning, but it's going to be 1 more minute until Roche is back. We know how fast TSM can get it, so despite being on the back foot, if they get a 1 team fight like that and Roche is up, it's immediately going to give them a big favor here.
Got a completed Ethereal Blade now on Pakaz.
Oh yeah, the E-Blade punch is a lot of damage, to say the least. When he E-Blade dismembers someone, they die very, very quickly. Also, the E-Blade itself does, you know, a lot of damage potentially towards something like Shadow Fiend, who has still decent agi. Of course, it's not the old E-Blade anymore with the shotgun, you know, the morphling. Now it's based on the target's primary stats.
Kind of glad it's not like that anymore. It got to be real boring after a while.
Yeah, back then it was even stronger on Pudge, of course. He built up a lot of strength, so it would be quite easy for him to do a lot of damage with E-Blade.
Smoke coming out now. Thunder. Will find himself Saberlight immediately, but the BKB, he's able to punch that button quickly. BKB over on Mago, though, too. Matthew gonna get held over into the cogs. Nice follow-up here over using that static storm. They still were giving chase to Mago, and they're not gonna be able to do it because Brawl, he ends up getting dismembered by Pakaz. He's just holding him into place. Needs 1 more hit, then he will die. Matthew with the spike carapace trying his best to do what he can. Does end up getting pushed back, and they'll get the kill. Now Sacred, already using those Mortimer kisses, is gonna try to just back off and chase after Saberlight. They do have the regen rune on Saberlight. He's so fast in the river, they're not able to close the gap. So at the end of the day, they're gonna end up losing their Nyx Assassin on Thunder, but they'll lose Bryle on the Pangolier.
Yeah, strong fight from Thunder. The Sacred there as well was using his Aghanim Scepter. Got a nice 2-hero connection on the Godbull ups. Just sent in a creep because he was standing on the mid lane. But connected that, got some good damage output with it. And overall, I think TSM, it's nice that they're trying to take these fights, but they have to be so wary of this Pudge right now. They don't have enough damage to burst him, and anyone gets like close enough to him will die so quickly. That's what happened to Pango there. He just cannot stay alive.
Feels like Thunder are ready to regroup again. They're playing quite closely together. They don't have any smokes currently. But they do start making their way to the top portion of the map. There is the Roche up. They don't want to let TSM get it for the 2nd time.
Yeah, Thunder's only plan here though is kills, because they can't really take Roche for themselves, whereas there are more options for TSM. They could smoke up and look for possibly an initiation to take a fight and then Roche. They could also just try and split the map a little bit and force Thunder Awaken to react to that, which is what we see now from Baron.
I like this positioning. They're playing around their Pudge. They're making sure that, you know, he can get this farm, but they're also protecting him. As they do start to make their way across the river, Matthew needs to be so careful. They have a sentry where they expect this. By Carapace, but the immediate fall from Dark Mago. Very nicely done. The dismemberment onto Saberlight. They're going to be able to rip him apart. And they'll get the kill on Dubu. Oh, the hook coming into play on Moon Meander. He cannot tell tops from bottom. And there's too much magical damage. It's devastating. A triple kill now for Pakaz is over on the side. Dark Mago, he pops his own BKB. Has to be careful. The gobble up the lodge of Pakaz. Looking to see what he can do. He's got to try to get away as that's a beautiful Requiem coming out. And Discus popped on Matthew. Looking to go again. They drag back on Bryle. Oh, Bryle, what a static storm. What a glimpse back.
Tiny
the mansion toss back over onto Tomato, too. Oh, my goodness. Dubu is not looking like he's going to survive this. It's a team wipe for the side of Thunder.
Absolutely beautiful. Wow, the team fight is such a good way. All of this is from the first reaction there by Matthew. The fact that he gets off the spike carapace enabled all of this. Complete disaster for the clock and the slaughter as they both get stunned here. Comboed up by the avalanche. The snapfire dealing damage into it. Punches nearby as well. Lands the hook as well afterwards. Completely perfect fight from them. And it's not done there. Tiny, recognizing he can go for more, forces out the BKB of SF by his aggressive play here. And of course, Pango can't chain stun people anymore, so he just BKB walks away, and they all just keep each other alive here with the Snapfire cookies and the way the Aeon Disc as well. He assembled it at the very last second there on Nyx, so really good patience.
The toss in of Tomato into that static storm, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they didn't lose a single hero, and they even won against Buyback there on the side of TSM. This is all smiles. They're very, very happy now about how they played that one out. And almost level 25 now. The Pudge is level 24 and a half. He's close. And this is only 34 minutes into the game.
South America, they like to play fast, they like to play aggressive, and we're seeing that coming out from Thunder. This is one thing I'm really happy about with this team, is that I feel like in the past when they've gone to some of these international tournaments, they start to lose their identity. They start to feel like they need to adjust too much, and they start to change. And I feel like we've been seeing more and more from these South American teams. They're playing their style of Dota. And part of it has to do with the fact that the patch does lend itself to this sort of style, but they just feel more confident. And I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, Thunder are certainly playing, you know, as though they own the map before they already do, and you know, it's like they're envisioning it and then they're making it happen. Whereas TSM, they're doing the best they can, but after a laning stage they had on top, I think that really hurt them a lot in this game. It puts TSM on the back foot from the get-go here. Saberlight has to be very careful. He does have a ward, but
yeah, he's just gonna teleport out. The smoke from the side of TSM looks like they're going to try to recover some of this area.
Nice detail, by the way, right there when he TP'd out. He backpacked his Cloak of Flames because he doesn't want to get Nyx stunned during the TP. Saberlight with a 5-head play there to keep himself alive.
What game was that where there was a Nyx assassin and just one of the players...
The Queen of Pain carrying the Cloak of Flames?
That was, yeah, it was rough to watch.
I can't remember which team matchup. I mean, again, 50 games of Dota a day, it's all a blur. But yeah, against Nyx, you have to be very careful about this neutral item, because now Nyx can stun Saberlight at any point in time during the fight as an initiation.
Nyx's way, who has Matthew, sees Saberlight. Aeon Disc popping immediately. The Dismember followed with the Impale. Good hook shot coming in from Dubo, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Now it looks very scary for Dubo because he gets dragged right back here by Picaz. He's just running in circles. And while this is going on, you can see Tiny, he is stunned. He's got the BKB. He's going to try to get out, but they have all the stuns. The Gobble Up, though, coming out. Can they keep him alive? Yes, they can. Oh, my goodness. Sacred says, get down, Mr. President. Takes the bullet for him.
Pudge is coming.
Pudge is coming right back in again. Gets a hold of Tomato. The arrow does end up going through, but the stun was from Tiny. They're just playing so well. Oh, my God.
What a sacrifice there. Sacred just flying in there, blinks in to try and save his or doesn't blink in, forces in to save his Tiny there with the Gobble Up and spits him out, jumps back in, drops down the Wraith Pact as his final act before he gives away his life to save his friend there. And
some
of
F's
course,
in chat for Sacred. I think he deserves those respects right now.
Truly. But he was the great sacrifice, but that is going to mean that TSM, they don't really get much in that fight overall. They just get offlaner and a support kill. Not at all what they want. Look at that. Last second save. And he's tanky enough they can't burst him. If they killed him, they could have gone the Kinder Egg surprise inside, but he gets to spit out the Tiny to safety first.
I think like the US is the one place that we aren't allowed to technically have Kinder Eggs.
Yeah, it's banned, right?
We get Kinder Joys, but I think the American public, they think that we're too stupid that we're gonna end up choking on them.
Yeah, there's you can make little grenades with those. It's really nice. You like take some baking powder and shake it up with some water. You just throw that. It's probably why it got banned for you guys.
Really?
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they pop. It's don't do this, stream. Don't do. Well, I guess I don't need to say that because it's banned anyway, so it's fine.
Well, no, because I think like it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure that they have Kinder eggs in South America. It's just the NA people who don't like. Some of them don't know what that is.
Because they
We're
see
not
him,
allowed
but
to
he's
have
so
them.
tanky.
How,
don't
yeah,
even
how
wanna
do you
go
do
in.
anything to this man? He still has the Aegis for 5 seconds too. He's got the refresher, refresher orb, sorry, and the BKB. Like, he's not worth it. He's not worth trying to expend all of those spells.
Yeah, he's monstrous. I'm not even sure if they could kill him if they had 5 heroes. Like, how long would it take to kill him twice?
Oh, they dropped the sentry, but they're just too late because this damage does so much to Mono now.
Nice
Has
hook.
to get away from these Mortimer kisses. The hook over on the back line, though, because grabs up Bryle. Gonna be able to hold him into place, stun him. It doesn't matter that he's all rolled up because they still go with the refresher. Get the kill. There'll be no Pangolier for this high ground push.
Poor Briley gets refresher dismembered there with the dismember damage talent as well. They send in the Nyx. Matthew, in you go.
Saberlight gets glimpsed back here by Panda. This is a very aggressive little disruptor, but he needs probably a little bit more help to take him down. Just gonna be a nuisance as the rest of his team eyes on the prize. Cut through these buildings like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, there's just nothing TSM can do at this stage. How did they stop this this Thunder, like the Thunder 5 here? When they go together,
Toss back over onto Saberlight, the dismemberment. They try to force him out, but there's a scatter blast. And Dubu, he tried to save him. He just wasn't able to do it as he's just taking so much devastating damage.
yeah,
Caught
1600
back on
damage crit.
Saberlight. Matthew poke. What is happening to Mono over here in the back line? They burn off his mana. He's not going to be able to get the Requiem off. He's just dead. Dios
He's
mío.
down to 2 supports. I mean, granted, Tiny comes in to kill steal,
Oh my
but
god. Because he says, hey Saberlight, where you going? Let's go fishing, buddy. GG gets called. Thunder Awaken looking so damn powerful in this game #1.
they're playing with such confidence and such aggression. I like the celebratory Snapfire ulti there at the end, some fireworks to, you know, really enjoy their win. What a performance by Pakas, though. I have to say at the back of this, like 18-1 and 12 on Pudge. The most dominant Pudge I've seen the entire group stage. Absolutely a monster. I can see why you're saying Pakas is, you know, an outstanding carry player here. This was quite the performance by him.
Yeah, this is a guy who likes to be aggressive, has always played aggressive, and